Good morning, welcome down to Devonkoi Pond on quite a nice morning. Been actually having some half reasonable weather for the last few weeks. Temperature been sitting around 15-16 degrees in the days, the odd sunny day where it's pushed it up a little bit more. But what a lousy summer. So what have we been up to? Well, it's that time of year we ought to be thinking about getting the pond ready for winter. So I'll be doing a clean out of the veg pretty soon. Won't be on this video, but be time to clean the veg filter out, give it a good swill, cut all the lilies back, cut all the plant life back in there, except for probably the baby's tears. I'm just going to leave that on me piss filter dribbling through. It'll just carry on growing through the winter. Bit of sun, love it. But yeah, we're clean all that out in the next couple of weeks, get that ready, get the covers ready to go on, which will probably be in the next video, 3-4 weeks time probably. We'll have a look at the pond temp in a minute and see what stuff's going on over here. Fish have been doing really well. Solar's been actually coming in nicely. I did get the batteries for that, I'll show you that in a bit. But let's pop over and have a look at the temp a minute and a quick look at the fish, I suppose. They were all fed fairly early this morning. Water's not at its best at the moment. Got a bit of the old blanket weed. I don't know if you can see it on the skimmer here and on the pond walls, but I've got 1.5 to 2 inches of blanket weed, but it's not upsetting the system at the moment, and I think I'm just gonna let it go as it is for a bit. It's not hurting me here at the moment, and with the sunlight decreasing, it'll soon be dying back, and the koi are really gobbling into it and eating it anyway. So veg filter here, all zonky donkey. Big bush grew back again, so I knew it blooming would. All that'll be chopped down before we go into the winter, but next few weeks I'll get in here and chop all these lilies back down to just their sort of root lumps, root balls. Leave it at that. Now you can really see the blanket weed in here, look. Look at the mess in here. Yeah. Now that's all grown, that weed around the side, in about 5 days. I haven't cleaned it for 5 days. Normally do it midweek, but I didn't get the opportunity this week. So that needs a good blooming clean out. Bit of a tidy up in here, ready for winter as well. And the pond is a bit messy, I will say that. Water's not at its best. Right, so a quick look at the temp a second, and we're going to mention on the winter temps and a bit on the winter feeding for those of you that are new to the hobby. So, temperatures. So, ignore what the water one's saying. That one's faulty. I've actually dumped the sensor from the air one into the water. So the water's at 16.5. So the fish are still reasonably happy. As I say, the daytime temp's been fairly good. Nighttime temp's not seen a frost yet. Not that cold. All the filters in here. We'll get over and give them a good clean in the next few weeks. Before the water temperature starts to drop down too much, everybody needs to give in and give their filters a good full winter clean, if you know what I mean. Everything wants to be scrubbed spotless, so you don't want to be out here playing around with it as the temperatures drop. Other thing is any rubber boot connections you got, i.e. Jubilee clips around rubber elbows, boots, anywhere, you want to go around and just make sure they're all nice and tight, because over the summer, warming up and cooling down, they tend to slack off. So have a check over all your pipe work. You don't want to be out peeing around with it when it's bloody freezing cold. It's no fun. Right, as you can see on the vortex there, I've got the water level alarms all back up and running. That dings in the house, dings in the workshop. If the water level drops, first place it goes down is in the vortex, because that's at pond level, so I know it. Right, let's pop it in, have a bit of a wob on the solar a minute. Okay, so over on the solar here today. Right, don't think I've seen another one, but as most people know, I do run a full solar pond down here. I've done now for about a year and a half, completely run it on solar. And this is the new box I added the other day to aid with that, and I was on about the batteries. Well, I did buy 2 of them, and it was a lot of money, but hopefully get me money back on those. Speaking money back on them, solar batteries, phew, really all you're doing with them is buying your electric in advance. It's as simple as that. Winter time here, I'm going to be running around 100 watts on the pond, maybe just a bit under, maybe just a bit over. Summertime I run about 200 watts on the pond, a little bit over, a little bit under, around the 200 watt mark. Solar here makes enough in the day to power it all day long, power it all night. With these batteries now, 200 amp hours of batteries, I'm running out at about 10 amps. It's running out the system at the moment, doing about 120 watts, 10 amps going out, and it'll run day and night at that, no problem. As the winter comes on, like I say, it'll go down to about 100 watts, and I think this will be able to sustain that, probably all but maybe the darkest day or 2 of the year. I'll be able to sustain that. I've got 740 watts, I think it's 720, 740 watts of panels on this setup here, but I can also kick in another 720 watts into it. If we do get some dark days, I'll flick those panels into the system as well. It's all just switchable, so I can run 365 days a year off the solar. And if heavens go all wrong, everything goes flying tits up, and there is no sun, there is no daylight for 3 or 4 days, it will kick on to the mains. But I didn't through last winter when I was running on the old batteries, and with these batteries it gives me even more ampage than I had before. I'm pretty sure I'll get through the entire winter without dropping onto the mains power, but if anything goes wrong it flicks over onto the mains anyway, so I'm well happy with that. Do like this eco-worthy stuff. I will recommend this one, eco-worthy solar inverter charger, nice piece of kit, and the batteries. I've got one of their battery monitors here. Now this, I'm not going to recommend this. You'd be better off with a shunt monitor, definitely. This one monitors through a loop on the wire, and I've been playing around with it now for nearly 2 months trying to get it to work properly, and it just bloody doesn't. It's as simple as that. It does show you the charge in the battery, but it's supposed to show you what's left and everything, and it's nowhere near accurate. I mean, at the moment it's saying 100%. The batteries are at about 50%. They'll take the rest of the day to blow themselves up. The pond's running off the solar at the moment, so it's taking about 10 amps out, and I've got an extra, oh, it's just gone in. When it says in at the top there, that means there's there's power going into the batteries and not out. So it's pulling 390 and up into the batteries, as well as power in the pond. Sun's probably just gone in, but when it's out, that'll flick up to like 20-30 amps of power going in, on zero again. That it reads out if there's outgoing power from the batteries, which it'll balance if there's enough solar coming in. Gets all a bit technical, but for those of you that want to know any more about it, email me or message me on Facebook and I'll go into it more. Gets a bit boring otherwise. Right, let's nip back outside a minute. Okay there, as I said, solar's a little bit in and out today, but I'm 100% running on solar. If there's anybody else running a pond entirely on solar, and I mean its own independent system, not a house on solar, I mean you've got a solar system that just runs the pond. If there's anybody else in the country that's doing that, I'd like to hear from you and your experiences on it. Looking at it and playing with it for over 12 months now, getting on 2 years on a solar power, totally running on solar. It's doable, yes. So you get 0 electric bills for it. You take years to get your fucking money back. Yes, I said the F word. Take years to get your money back, but it does work. To do it basically, if you've got a pond that isn't using too much electric, i.e. 100 watts through the winter months, sort of 4 or 5 months, 200 watts around through the summer months, it'll cost you about £2 grand. Simple as that, £2,000. And will you get that money back? Ooh, yeah, you'll get it back, but it'll take a few years. All right, the batteries, £300 a pop. That's bloody expensive. All right, you're just basically buying your electric in advance with them. If they last their full lifespan, you will make it some out of it, but who knows what those batteries are going to be doing in 10 years time. I think the batteries will actually pay for themselves in 4 or 5 years, but then you've got to pay for the solar, get the money back from the solar panels, the money back on the inverter charger, your wiring, the clips for everything. I say £2 grand roughly to set up to run a smallish koi pond. Want to run a bigger pond and you're looking at 300 watts, 400 watts, you could add another £1,000 onto it quite easily. But it's doable, and it's nice not having the extra bill from the pond, because constant running on 100 watts through the winter, 200 watts through the summer, costs 350 a year pounds. So that's what it's actually saving, sort of 350 pounds a year, which is, yeah, it's a nice saving. But to have to put £2,000 out to get that back, it's a big hit. But then, if you manage to afford your nice fancy drum filter, maybe you can afford a nice fancy solar setup. Me, I can only have had one or the other, and I'm not really into the drums as a lot of people I know. So I'm going to give me blooming Vortex a clean here, and I might start in the veg, but that'll be in next month's video. So all you out there in the koi world, I see I've just clicked over 4,000 subscribers. I didn't think I'd get there. It's taken a long time from 3,000 to 4,000. I will do a giveaway for it at some point. Getting over that mark, I'll give away a nice koi plaque or something for just a short comment. But that'll be in a future video. I'll drop that in, because I literally can't be asked to organise it at the moment. Got too much on my plate. But I'm going to get on, clean my Vortex a minute. Have a quick look in the veg, see if I fancy sticking my arms in it, but it's probably going to be another week or 2 yet. Clean everything up, get it ready for winter. Feeding, come winter time, right? If you're new to the game, get yourself down onto wheat germ food. As soon as it gets anywhere near 10 degrees, you want to be down on wheat germ. After and below 10, only feed them if they're really looking for it. If they aren't looking for it, don't feed them. If they're around hunting for food, and you tell that because they're mobile and moving. If they're just sitting around on the bottom, they ain't hungry. Simple as that. Whatever you do put in, give them a minute or 2 to eat it. If they don't eat it, hook it straight out. Don't leave it in there. Don't feed them below 5, all right? This is common knowledge to most people who have kept koi, but if you're new to the game, those are the kind of rules. 10 degrees, don't feed below 10 degrees. Unless they're scavenging looking for it, don't give them any food below 5. They'll quite happily sit through the winter months where it's dormant, like 10 degrees and just above, without any food anyway. But if they're actively looking for it, give them a little bit, but make sure the temp's up for it and the fish are up for it. Hook it out quick. Right, so I'll catch you all in the next one, which will probably be me cleaning up and getting everything ship shape here for winter. And like I say, I might have the 4,000 subs giveaway in it. So, sun's out, solar, love it. Right, catch you all in the next one. Have a good month. Bye-bye.